Oh, a nuclear reaction happens deep inside the sun, where hydrogen atoms are turned into helium. Then the heat and light are radiated into space, and 900 million miles they shine upon the Earth's face. Pretty good, huh? There's Earth. You get the idea. Okay. What am I going to be talking about? Photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. What does photo mean? Photo. How many of you actually think that photo means picture? Photo does not mean picture. Photo means light. And what does synthesis mean? What do DJs do? DJs synthesize. To make. Right? To make from light. What are we making from light? C6H12O6. What is that? Glucose. Right? Right. All right, okay, let's talk about photosynthesis. So, just like cellular respiration, there is an equation for photosynthesis. And here you have it. Okay? Carbon dioxide plus water. Remember that the arrow represents a chemical reaction. So when you're looking at a chemical equation, the arrow represents a chemical reaction taking place. Arrows represent chemical reactions taking place. So that's what that means. The arrow represents a chemical reaction. So think about the chemical reaction of photosynthesis. What does it require? It requires light energy. Now, sun's energy is not very, it needs to be more specific because the sun releases a bunch of energy. Ultraviolet radiation, heat, gamma rays, you name it. Well, there's a bunch of stuff that the sun does. So we can't say sun's energy really. What we're talking about is light. Light energy is needed for photosynthesis. The light from your smartphone can make photosynthesis happen, okay? So remember, chemical reactions. The arrow means a chemical reaction. And the arrow in a chemical equation, which is this whole thing, the whole thing is a chemical equation. In a chemical equation, the arrow will point to the products. The arrow points to products. The arrow will point to products. The arrow points to products. Independent of where the arrow is pointing to. In a chemical reaction, the arrow is always, in a chemical equation, the arrow is always pointing to products. Keep that in mind. So if the arrow is pointing to products, then the other side is your reactants. It doesn't matter which way the arrow is pointing. The arrow will always point to products. Okay, so hopefully I've emphasized that enough. So again, here is the equation for photosynthesis. In class, we talked about the numbers. So remember, there are 6 carbon dioxides that go in and 6 waters that go into the chemical reaction. All this happens in chloroplast. Uses the chemical chlorophyll. Right? And we get glucose. So we're talking about glucose, which is this, and 6 oxygens. All right? So where does photosynthesis take place? photosynthesis takes place in autotropic, autotropic organisms, specifically photoautotropic organisms. Let's look at the word photoautotropic. What's an autotroph? An autotroph is an organism that makes its own food. Well, what's a photoautotroph? What does photo mean? Don't say picture. Photo means light. So a photoautotroph is an organism that uses light to make its own food. So a photoautotropic organism. For example, a plant. Now, plants are multicellular, eukaryotic organisms. And they have organelles. And the organelle of photosynthesis is chloroplast. So all of this whole chemical reaction takes place in chloroplast. So there's that. What else do you need to know? Let's think about, real quick, chlorophyll. You find chloroplasts are filled with chlorophyll. All right? That's the green pigment. So chlorophyll is green. And if something is green, that means it reflects green. Okay, so I don't want to go into too much randomness. I think that's all you need to know. Photosynthesis means to make from light. What are you making? You're making glucose from light. Here's the chemical equation for photosynthesis. 6 carbon dioxides plus 6 waters with light energy to help the chemical reaction take place will give you a glucose molecule and 6 oxygens. Oxygen is a waste product, so plants get rid of it, and then you breathe it in, and so do squirrels and other heterotrophic organisms that carry out aerobic respiration. That's a pretty good squirrel, if I do say so myself. That's it for photosynthesis. Email me if you have any questions. Thank you.